So there are times in our lives where we can feel depressed or repressed or overcome with procrastination or apathy. This is a fairly ubiquitous, universal human experience. So the question is, how do we break out of this and what can we do to move on? So what I'm going to do in this video is share with you a few simple ways which you can do that, things that I've used, things that I've found to be very helpful, and the things that I'm very confident will help you as well. So the first and maybe one of the most obvious principles is that doing things you don't like requires a lot more willpower and energy and attention and focus than doing things that you do like. So sometimes with procrastination or depression or repression or apathy, it really just boils down to doing things you don't like versus doing things that you do like. So one example is, let's say, like even me, I can remember when I was in school, there were some classes which I absolutely just hated. So for me to have to do the work for that or to read that was just a nightmare. I put it off forever, never wanted to do it, just a huge struggle. Yet other classes that I enjoyed, so like, music classes for example, or Chinese philosophy classes, I was usually ahead of the course because I was so interested in reading and going through the information, and I was just so excited about it. And that's just it's so obvious that people don't really understand it. So it's important to ask ourselves, instead of forcing ourselves to do things that we don't like, instead of asking, how can I make myself enjoy this stuff that I hate, or how can I force myself to do all this stuff that I don't like, start to ask, how can I begin to shift my life around so that I can do more of what I do like and less of what I don't? What goals can I set? What skills can I learn? What shifts can I make? Etc. And obviously it's probably not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be 100% either or, so please don't jump to that conclusion because life's always changing, and sometimes we just have to do things that we don't like to do. We don't like to pay taxes, we don't like to go to this place or that place, but at the end of the day we kind of have to, or we can get to the point where we can pay someone else to do it, or just outsource it, or whatever that might be. So it's just start to think and start to ask yourself different questions and kind of break out of that box. So that's the first point. The second thing is, doing something and taking action is most always better than sitting around being complacent or complaining about things or wallowing in excuses. Because the fact of the matter is, it's never going to be the perfect time to start something or to do something. Things are never going to be perfect. There's always going to be reasons to not do something, and that's just how it is. So it's just realizing and accepting that and just saying, okay, me actually doing something and taking action is far better than just sitting here. And you might think, well, I want to start this, but I don't like, okay, for example, you might say, oh, I'm really stressed and I don't really exercise, I need to learn to exercise. Okay, well, go to YouTube and you can do free Tai Chi or free Qigong or free breathing or free meditation right now. Say, oh, well, I heard this or I heard that or this or that. It's like, actually, sure, you can go on and live in excuse land forever. And, there's always going to be this reason or that reason or this timing or that timing. But in reality, you can do something immediately right now that can then move things forward. And it might not be perfect. It might be the best thing ever. And you might do it for a week and then do something else. But the fact is, taking action, moving forward, is far more important, far more beneficial, far more transformational than just sitting there, well, I could do this, well, I could do that. No. So then to take it even simpler and make it even more concrete, the easiest and the simplest way to overcome a lot of this stuff is just to do one thing per day. Because if you think, oh, I want to achieve this goal, and your mind is going to make that seem so big and so broad that, oh my God, how could I ever do that? So to step out of that and to make it much more concrete and practical, just ask yourself, okay, what's one thing I can do today, or one thing I can do right now to either bring me closer to this goal or to even achieve this goal? And it doesn't have to be anything massive or profound, and usually it's actually a lot better if it's quite simple and quite easy and quite actionable. Meaning, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, so today I'm going to change my diet 100%, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that, blah, 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 that's how things are going to be. That's just setting yourself up for failure, because that's a huge shock to your system. It's going to require a lot of willpower. Instead, you can just say, okay, maybe I will just, instead of eating this one thing, maybe I'll eat this other one thing. Or maybe I drink 5 sodas a day, so maybe I'll just cut back to 2. Maybe I never walk or never get off the couch, so maybe I'll go for a 10-15 minute walk today. Just a simple step is what I'm trying to illustrate, trying to communicate, that is more beneficial and more positive just sitting there doing nothing, and it will generate positive momentum, positive energy, and get you moving towards your goal. And to take it one more broad level, if you do one simple thing every day for a month or 2 months or 3 months, that gives you much more creative energy, more willpower, more confidence, more self-assuredness to then do the next thing, and then do the next thing, and then do the next thing, and then add things on and just keep moving and keep going. So that's some quick and simple and easy ways, things you can take action on right now to overcome these various things which we've been talking about. So hopefully that's been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I look forward to talking to you soon.